Yeah, thank you for joining here today. Before we hop in, what I'd like to hear in the chat is where you're calling in from, the company you're with, and if you use FCS or not. So post that there in the chat. Santiago, Sutter Roofing, great. Sutter Roofing Orlando, FCS, great. What about you, Kenny? I assume so. At Sheffers over there. Mariella, I don't think you guys use FCS, correct? Okay, great. Now, for those of you who do use FCS, how do you use it at your company? Is it mostly for service operations? What are the best things about it that you guys are using it for today? Operations, okay. Dispatching, yeah, totally understand that. Anything else? Use it in the service department. Okay, great. Yeah, that's typically what we see. FCS does a lot of things, but from what we hear, the real thing that they do really great is helping manage the service department. And so, likewise, a lot of our clients at Followup use FCS to manage the service department. So that is really the reason why we chose to do the integration with FCS. And so what I want to do first off is walk you through the integration conceptually and then show you a quick demo. So this is going to be a short webinar today and give you guys some time back. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the meantime, but we're just going to hop right on in. So before, what we're looking at here, this is typically what the sales and estimating process looks like before, at a roofing company that both use, FCS. This also applies to the Edge if you use that, and Followup. And before our integrations, you'll see it all starts with the lead coming into the business, whether it's a call or a referral. And then you ask yourself, is it a good fit, right? And then you do the takeoff and you manage the activities. From there, you get the measurements, you check out the roof, what is going on with the roof, and Followup can help you manage that workflow. But then when it comes time to create the estimate, I see the Edge and FCS almost like a mini estimating software, right? So the Edge is going to be great for those big, larger commercial jobs to produce a big scope of work, where FCS is going to be good for service type work, right? They have a little PDF creator that you can put in the service issues that you have. And then from there, it usually falls back into the Followup category, and you can create your proposal within Followup, and then the magic happens within the next 1 to 18 months and following up and closing those opportunities. And most companies with service, they can close within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but some service jobs can linger. And then with the Edge, you can bid out a job that are 18 months down the road. So it's super critical to follow up. And then what we don't have shown here is dispatching crews and all the operational side of FCS that they're really great at. So we could even put FCS again over here once the contract is sold and the pass off right there. So now with the integration, it's a seamless connection, right? So before, after, the lead comes in, the information is entered, it flows directly into FCS, and you can create your work orders, manage your crews, whatever you really need to do Hey, Robert, good to have you join us here. Um, so from here, what we're going to do is just show you a quick demo of how that works. So I'm going to minimize this, and we're going to bring you to Followup. I don't know if any of you Followup users have noticed, but we released a pretty major new feature, this global search button, where you can come in and search for any contact, company, or job instantly. So if I wanted to bring something up, I can just start typing, and you can see it pulls everything from your database quickly, right? Robert at Cleveland. See, there you guys are. Cleveland Roofing. So I just wanted to show you guys that feature. It makes it really fast to implement. Anyways, so number one, before I show you the integration, I'm going to show you a little bit about the setup process. To get access to the FCS integration, you have to be on the appropriate plan. So if you're not on that plan, have a conversation with me and we can talk about how to get you on the right plan. But setting up the integration is very easy. Once we have your FCS module turned on in your company settings, you'll be able to see a new tab called the FCS integration. And here you'll have a couple of fields that you can fill in your credentials to connect the two systems together. What these are the master ID, the user ID, and the FCS password. So you get this information from FCS Java themselves, whoever your contact is over there. It could be Ross or it could be another person on their customer success team, but they will provide to you these three critical areas to make the connection happen. Once you have this, you enter it in, you click save, and it syncs the software together. Now, if you are on your own core, that is what this custom endpoint is for. Most of you won't be on that, so you don't have to worry about that, but I know FCS has a handful of clients that are on their own custom core, so we can support that as well. And that allows it to go to your unique database. So after that connection is made, you're ready to go. And so let me show you how this all works together. I'm going to come here and I'm just going to scroll and pick a random job here. I'm going to say, I don't know, let's just do 7 Summit Roofing. So here you have, let me just fill in this information really quick here, save it. Now that we have the FCS module turned on, you'll see a new FCS sync button at the top of your toolbar right here. This allows you to push the job information from Followup into FCS. So you can do that at a couple of different points in your sales process that you have in your sales behaviors. Number one, if it's at the creating the proposal area, you can sync that over, or when it's all said and done, if you already won the contract, you can push it over. So we've currently rolled this out and are betaing the FCS integration with 2 large commercial roofers, Best Roofing and Butcher, to work out all the little details. And how it works at their company, just so you know, they have their sales and estimating team. And then once the contract is sold, they have a sales administrative person, actually the one utilizing the integration, and it saves her a lot of time from searching within Followup to find the job and then copying all this information and putting it into FCS like they currently do it now. They've been doing it that way for years. But now with the integration, all you have to do is click sync to FCS and you'll see your project has been synced. After that, it will turn green, telling you that it has already been synced. You can resync it if you'd like, but if it's green, that means this project has been synced before. Okay, so now on the FCS side, you'll be able to, actually, let me start from the beginning here. You'll be able to log in to your instance of the FCS software, and you'll be able to come to your toolbar. You'll see this here, but that's not typically how you'll get to it. Typically what you'll do is you'll come to your toolbox. In your toolbox, you'll have your tools, and then you'll see the FCS, the Followup CRM jobs queue. And what this allows you to do, the reason why we built the integration this way is because we want to make sure there's no duplicate entry and there are no duplicate jobs in FCS. There's a lot of different options in FCS that you can do. You can create a new property, a new client, a new opportunity under a property, under a client. So there's a lot of variations of what you can do within FCS, and we wanted to give you the ability to work within FCS how you do it currently at your company. So as you can see, Seven Summits Roofing was pushed through. The job ID was pushed through, the job name. And so what I want to do, you see here, we have the new project queue, and then we have the history so that you can see that there. But if I click on this new job, it gives me a few options. We have the job name, we have the address, and we have the amount. All of that's taken from the Followup file. And then you can have a couple of options. Number one, you can select the company that it's attached to. You can search for a company, any of the companies that are in your current database. So if you're doing multiple service opportunities for a company, it comes really nice and handy there. Or you can create a new company. When you create a new company, you can have a commercial or residential, so it works for both workflows, right? So let me show you here, and we'll walk it through typically of what we see. Let me come back here and refresh my screen so we can start fresh. Okay, so typically how we expect 90% of the people to utilize the system, you come here, you attach it to the company that you would like. You can create the property if it's a brand new property that you are one for the first time. You can do that, or you can select the property under that account currently. And if you come here, you select that, then you have that, add to FCS, right? So once that's complete, all of that is pushed. This opportunity is pushed under the property information at this company, and that's it. You can move on to the next job here, right there. And so this gives you almost like a queue of sold new service contracts that your administrative person can work through without double entry. So there's a couple of details about the process at your company that you might want to work through, and your process. For example, is the salesperson or estimator the one who clicks the sync to FCS button, or is it the administrator that comes in and does that? That's some of the questions that you guys would have to answer. So we've designed this to be very flexible. Let me just click here on the project history so you can take a look at what that looks like. Here, you can see the company, the property, the opportunity ID. And if you come here, you can click on any of these areas and it'll take you to the FCS file itself. So here you can see, for example, where we were taken. You can do your aerial, you can do your dispatching, whatever you need to do. So what I want to do is hit pause and see what questions we have in the chat right now. So if you have any questions around this integration, around the implementation or the workflow, I might be able to answer them for you here. I'm not 100% familiar with the FCS system, so we might have to loop in someone from the FCS to do some training, but let me know. What questions do you guys have in the chat? Hey, Kirby, I see you logging in here. Any questions? It's pretty straightforward. It really helps with the double entry. I know people really hate double entry, so this is really the driving factor behind that. And then not only that is data purity, which is a really important factor, because sometimes you might enter in a job address, northeast with NE, or you might spell it out. And it's really important to have those sync up so it's all the same. So, as you can see, since there are no questions in the chat, we've removed the barriers, and we're really putting together one synchronized system so that you can manage, your roofing service business. One of our clients, Best Roofing, that uses all three of these softwares is really seeing the productivity increase. How it works at Best Roofing: the lead comes in, the salesperson schedules the meeting, they have a takeoff person go out there. If it's a service job, they create the estimate FCS. If it's a large commercial job, they have their estimating team in the edge create it, and now we have the workflow back and forth between both of these. From there, we push it on back to sales. They pick up the ball, run it down the field, close the deal, and then pass it off to operations. So they have a machine going there, and it's really important to have these connections to simplify that process, to make sure the ball is not being dropped along the way. So if you're interested in the FCS integration, please reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation on how we can get it up and running for you at your company. We'll love to chat more. I know some of you guys aren't current clients with Followup. I'd love to chat with you about how you could potentially come into your business and start optimizing your sales and estimating process over there. Thank you, guys.